Now I will try to show you how to pass on data between two components. First, we need to generate the parent and child component. As the same goes with the object-oriented programming, parent and child is possible for accessing the data from a parent component. The child component can access the data from the parent component if we do the code properly. It's also applicable here in Angular because parent and child's concept is also applicable here and applied here in Angular. First, we will generate a component for the parent. Ng generate component parent. I'll maximize this for a better view because we still don't need the server for now because we're just setting up the components. Then after editing, I'll close this tab first so that's gonna be neat. We now have the parent component, and here we need to insert a line of code as it goes app dash child, the bracket for message is equals to parent message, then we put message event is equals to receive message with the event emitter. Then we close it with app dash, oh, it's still locking a dash child. Oh, okay, there you go. Now it's having error because this variables are still not existing in our project. But let's do that later for now. And then now here we declare the necessary variables for our parent class or parent component. Message from the parent component. Then we add a event here and it's gonna be like that. Then we console.log $event. Here it has an error because it needs to be implicitly declared, so we just press the quick fix and it's gonna put a type in here which is any, so it can be anything. Then afterwards we will create and generate our child component. Ng generate component child. Okay, and if we save that, still gonna have an error because we still didn't customize our child component. But here in the child component.ts, we will put auth input. Then we insert a message which has a type of string. Then this will show up an error because we didn't import this dependency or the libraries for it. Then we just press quick fix and then update or import from Angular core, and then it's gonna be the error will be removed. And here we didn't initialize our message, so we can just put the undefined type for it, so it's gonna be initially declared as null. And afterwards for the output, message event is equals to new event emitter string with that case. Then we just need to import the library again from the Angular core. Then we just need to import this again for the event emitter. Notice that in the message event, it's the same as here. Basically, this parent component will get the message from the child component here. So it's like the type of event emitter for it to be able to pass it through to the parent. Then afterwards, in the child component, we'll finish editing it and adding some other codes. We will create a method here, send message, then this dot message event dot emit. Basically, the event emitter serves its purpose by creating a message from the child component to the parent component. We will insert message from the child component. And we save it. Then notice that this only has one error left. And by checking it in our parent component here in the TypeScript file, it's still doing the error because our case there is small m. Then if we save it, then we will run our server. Then after running our server, while waiting for it, we will refresh this. It's still gonna show the project or the codes that we did earlier because we didn't edit it for now. If we remove it, or we just need to comment it out. Then we add here the app dash parent. Oh, app dash child. Let's try child. Show if the child works. That's for the child component, but if we access it in the parent component, it also shows that the child works. Notice that here in the HTML or the web page, the app-parent is located in here. Yet it must display this code, but it's displaying the HTML file of the child component. That's how to pass data from a child component to the parent component. If we check our console, it's not displaying anything because, as you can see here earlier, it says the received message should be displayed here as an event, but it's not displaying anything here for now because we didn't customize the code. Yet our goal is only to display that the HTML element in the child component will be displayed in the HTML element or the HTML file of the parent element. So for example, we edited this, change it into a different case, child component pass to parent component. And we save it. Notice that from the child component, it's displaying the data here in the parent component. But if we add something in here, we add parent component HTML file, we save it, it also displays this. This is the concept of parent and child in Angular that you can use to pass on data between one components into a different components by following the concept of the child and parent using the output, input, and the event emitter. As you can see here in our child component.ts, we declare that the input should be the message string and undefined. Yet the output is message event new event emitter. Basically, this message here gets the child component.html because it's by the default that it should do that, and it does not get this for now because we still didn't customize our code for it. Then it should display this message, yet it's not displaying for now because we didn't use this method for it. And now I will show you how to pass on data with a parent-child component using a button. Earlier I have this syntaxes for the TypeScript files of my parent and child component, but for now, let's start over again and remove it so that it's going to be easier for you to follow through. It's receiving some errors if I delete it, so let's do this first. The parent component. So here in the parent component, we will declare a variable called child message and has a type of string. Then we do the quick fix and we add the initialization for that. Then afterwards, we will create a method called receive message. We add an event on it, and then this the child message is equals to $event. Then we will implicitly declare this event file here, or this event emitter. We save it. Then this still has some error because the parent message is not located anymore, the parent component, so we need to declare it again. And by that, we need to insert the variable parent message. We need to create a parent message is equals to message from the parent component. Then we save it. Now the error is gone and all the methods that we need is there. Then here in our HTML file in the parent component, we will edit it so that it can receive the message from the child component. So we will create this message from child message. Okay, there you go. Now there's still nothing that's still showing because we didn't set up our child component. Then in our child component, we will create this method send message, that message that emit message from the child. Then we will customize our HTML file using button. We will add a click is equals to the method that we created, send message. We'll add a name here, button from child. Then if we click this, notice that it shows up here. This is the concept of child and parent here in Angular, wherein the event emitter plays a big role. The purpose of the event emitter is to check if by clicking the button, what will happen. The event emitter's purpose is to emit data from the child component or many other ways or any other ways that you can use the event emitter. But in this example, it emits the data after clicking the button. So this message event variable will emit this message from the child component, then it will send it here in the parent component, wherein the child message in here will be equivalent to the message that the variable emitted, and it will display in the HTML file or the web page of the parent component. Because of this $event, it will display this in here. That would be all for the components and directives. Thank you for listening to this course and see you in my next course.